Let's discuss now. Senior political commentator Jack Kingston is here, political analyst Kirsten Powers, and political commentator Angela Rye. Good evening, all of you. Very serious information, but so much for a quiet Friday evening, as everybody, I'm sure, was hoping. Jack, I'm going to ask you first. Robert Mueller appointed in May to lead this investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 election. 5 months later, charges. What kind of message is he sending with these first charges, you think?
Well, the good news might be that the investigation is moving on, and I think that everybody, Democrat and Republican, would probably like to see this thing get over with. I think it is a distraction. I think the bad news is maybe he's rushing it because he's coming under criticism about the money spent and his possible role in this uranium one that he knew. You know, there's this informant out there who is saying that there was bribery and it happened under Mueller's watch in 2010 when he was there. I'm not sure if that's the reason or not. I'm just saying there's some...
You're just throwing it out there.
There are some who believe that.
That was just a couple of conspiracy theories that you threw out there. But go ahead, Kirsten, what do you want to say to that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Jack, you are really just throwing something out there that I don't think there's anything to back up what you just said. You know, there's no reason to believe that he's rushing anything. I think he's known as a professional. He's well respected. He's somebody who has been, you know, I think tight-lipped during this and has done a professional investigation. So I don't think we should question that. But I agree. It will be nice to actually have some really real information to discuss and look at and to see if there's, you know, who this person is. And I think, you know, how it affects the White House is going to depend a lot on who it is. If it's Paul Manafort, I think there's going to be one kind of reaction. Obviously, you know, worst case scenario is you would see something more like a Jared Kushner or a Don Jr., in which case that's going to be, you know, a 10-alarm fire.
Ansel, I want to bring you in, but the president, unless you want to respond to this, because I want to read a tweet. Did you want to respond to any of this?
No, I want to hear your tweet, Don.
Okay. So here's the president tweeted this today, said, "It is now commonly agreed after many months of costly looking that there was no collusion between Russia and Trump. Was collusion with HC." So sort of repeated what Jack just said there. They're looking at, oh, this is really costly. It's costing so much money that this should be over. How does this tweet look now in light of this news, this blockbuster news?
Well, one, I think it's really interesting, right? These charges are supposed to be sealed, and we're not supposed to know. The earliest we may know is by Monday. So the fact that he is saying that he's cleared, in effect, is really fascinating to me, because it may mean that there is some leaked information. One of the things that I do want to point to is there's a very clear timeline of events that brought us here, and I think that for many of us, Congressman Kingston just mentioned that we want this to be over, right? We're ready to be done with Russia. But I would hearken your attention to those damn emails and how much time we spent on those. And there are a million smoking guns when we talk about Russia. The first set of events would be the firing of Jim Comey, right? I mean, this is something that he acknowledged in a letter that we've yet to see, but is in Mueller's possession. And we also know that he kind of admitted to that in an interview with Lester Holt on NBC News. I think we should also point to everything that he said about Attorney General Jeff Sessions. He kind of wanted him to quit. There were conversations about him quitting. And the reason for that is Jeff Sessions' recusal. So I don't know that he's been cleared, and I certainly think that we could point to his behavior on the fact that he also knows he's not cleared.
Jack?
You know, I think Angela's right. There are a million smoking guns and a million ways to go when it comes to Russia, because we would all agree that Russia has been trying to influence American elections and American policy for decades, as we have tried to do that with other countries ourselves. But, you know, one of them is that Bill Clinton received $500,000 to give a speech to a Russian bank that had ties to the Kremlin while his wife was Secretary of State. While his wife was Secretary of State, a Canadian company that was acquiring Russia or uranium
Jack, just stop there.
gave
Jack,
$2.3
we
million.
this on the campaign.
We
talked about this.
But now it's being investigated.
There has been no new information that changes any of the conclusions for every fact check that has been done about this, that Hillary Clinton knew about. And if she did, if there's an investigation, it should play out. But that Hillary Clinton knew about this. There were 9 departments in the government independently of each other who signed off on the uranium deal, and to say that Hillary Clinton and the State Department was one who had a very small role, to say that Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton had any sort of influence over 9 departments in the federal government in order to get uranium moved and sold and what have you. It's a conspiracy theory.
Well,
and it has been debunked many times.
But Congress will now be looking into it, and if it is a conspiracy and it's just a bunch of bunk, then it won't go anywhere. But it does bother me, and it should bother everybody, that this company gave $2.35 million to the Clinton Foundation.
It bothered people.
It
bothered people. This supposedly happened in 2010. It's been investigated since 2013 or 2015. Now it's being brought back up. Sure, if you want to investigate it, keep going on and on and on, but to keep throwing that up as a talking point, it's
relevant.
It's a bit embarrassing.
But Don, it was only this week. It was just this week that Congress has decided to investigate it. And I can say this.
But why
I'm not saying that it
but
shouldn't be
Congressman
investigated.
Kingston, wait a minute, really quick, Don. Just because I worked there, and Congressman Kingston, you served in the House. You know that people all of the time with these special committees have political intentions with the investigation. The reason why there was a special committee on Benghazi for so long that dragged out throughout the election was politically motivated. So let's not act like it's not in Republicans' best interest.
Let's just say
it's not in
randomly
Republicans' best interest to throw out a few red herrings. And let me give you this. There's a reason why you had to go to Russia during the campaign as well. Like there are clear ties to the Russian government and Donald Trump's campaign. I'm not alleging any wrongdoing on your behalf.
I'm
but
glad
I am
you brought
saying,
that up, because number one, it wasn't during the campaign. It was in December, and it was a post-election.
During the transition.
It was a post-election summary that my international law firm did all over the globe. Including in Australia, including in China, including in Europe, including in London, and it was in the Chamber of
I have
Commerce.
to let him respond to it, but I can't, because I got to get to the break. So I just want to make it clear, since he brought the charge, you said it wasn't during the campaign, it was after the campaign, and it was
the
had to do with
transition
your
period.
Okay.
Right.
All right, I got to go because I'm getting in trouble because I'm not going to the break. Thank you very much. When we come back, President Trump tweeting tonight just as we're learning the first charges in the Mueller investigation have been announced. We're going to tell you what the president is saying next.
I love to